we talked about how our cells have antigens for A, antigens for B, or antigens for A and B, or O not having any antigens. So these guys here, antigens for tagging me, saying I'm A, tagging me, telling me I'm B, tagging me, telling me I'm AB, or no tags whatsoever. We have another antigen that we need to throw in the mix. This is where you're coming up with your positive. So if you're A positive, that means you have a positive antigen as well. You have an extra. So that means if you are Rh negative, you don't have that antigen. So if you are positive, then you can receive negative blood. But if you are negative, can you receive positive blood? No. Because it's got an extra something on it. And if you received it, you would notice automatically that is not like me, and I want to kill it.
So like that picture up there, that won't work.
Right. So you have this person that is negative getting a blood transfusion of positive. So once they are introduced into the body, we will kill that positive and we'll make antibodies against it now. So now, the next time we get a transfusion, we'll automatically go after it and kill it if it's positive because we've been introduced to it. That is a problem because, again, we kill the blood, we destroy the blood that we were receiving and we actually needed. You know, if we break down too much, then we can cause renal failure and liver problems. But the biggest time we see it is here. And for our mothers that are negative, you're going to have a little extra prenatal care things going on with you. So what happens is, one, it's rare to be negative. Negative's not real common. So women that are negative, that are within childbearing age, we're a little concerned about. So you do want to know your blood type. So if you're negative, please be aware of it.
I'm positive.
Huh?
I'm positive.
There's no problems. You're fine. It's negative only. So what happens with that is, say that I am negative and my husband is positive and I end up with a positive baby. Now, during pregnancy, which we'll learn in that very last lectures when we're doing reproductive system, there's no exchange of blood between mom and baby here. During pregnancy, there's no exchange. We're not mixing blood. Now, during delivery, when this placenta here is starting to rip away from the lining of the uterus, then yes, there is exchange of blood. So it's during delivery. So the very first pregnancy, me being negative and baby being positive because it got that positive from dad, has no problems during pregnancy. But during delivery, when that blood, that placenta is being ripped away and the blood is mixing, some of baby's positive blood goes into mom. Does nothing to baby. Baby's fine. Baby's born. No big deal. So now mom got introduced to these positives. What does she make now? She makes antibodies. Not antigens, antibodies. Antigens mean tags telling me I'm who I am. So antibodies are made against positive. Still, baby's healthy, no problems. But second pregnancy, big problem. Second pregnancy, mom gets pregnant with another positive baby, it automatically starts killing baby cells. Because there's no exchange of blood during pregnancy, but there is exchange of antibodies. So mom's antibodies that are against baby's own blood goes into the baby. Can cause miscarriage, definitely anemia, because it starts to kill its cells and break them down.
So miscarriages are more common and negative?
Yes, and that's why, going back, if we know you are positive, and you know what, even if dad is negative, which means there should be 100% chance that this baby will be negative, they will still give you medication to keep from making antibodies against that baby. Because what if, by some reason, you got pregnant by somebody else? You know, you never know. So they take precautions. They'll give you an injection shortly before birth or right after to prevent you from making antibodies against baby. That's only if you're negative. If you're positive, no worries.
So if you're positive, you can have a negative baby with no problems.
If you're positive, you can have a negative baby, no problems.
So, but what if the negative gets in me?
It wouldn't matter. Negative doesn't have a tag on it whatsoever. It's a clean slate. There's nothing. We don't recognize it at all. That's why.
So if you're already negative,
That's when it's a problem, because then when you're introduced something foreign, you make antibodies.
Yeah.
So that's why O negative. Oh my gosh, that's the. And they were talking about, which y'all didn't get to see. I forgot that y'all didn't get to see the IMSA truck and all that. But you will. We're going to reschedule it for you guys. But they talk about they have 2 types of blood on their truck. One is O negative. That means they can give that blood to anybody under the sun. Because if you're on the truck and you need a blood transfusion, they have no time to be running lab on you, drawing blood and sending it to the lab. How can they do that? So they'll have O negative blood, and they can give that to you. They can give you AB negative as well. So they'll have those 2 units on the truck every time, just in case. Now, if they have no clue what your blood type is, they'll give you an O negative. If they know you're at least an AB or something, then they can give you an AB blood. What was I getting to? I don't know. Okay. What substance carried by each red blood cell determines blood type? Tells it what it is. Your antigens tell you who you are, what you are. So A antigens will have A's on them, B antigens will have B's, AB's will have both, and O will have nothing. Nothing. It's like, and that's it.